Welcome back to International Star Media, the Gold Star Standard, at the Gold Star Standard. Reactions, reviews, and news you can use. Once again, I am your host, International Yada, for the record saying the dollars, and check it out. They're getting stranger and stranger out here with these cases involving sex trafficking. You seen the title, Sex Trafficking Scheme, involving a special needs victim.
What?
Yeah, you heard me right. Involving a special needs victim. Let's check it out. Genesee County, Michigan. Genesee County is Flint, Michigan. The Flint area, I guess. Genesee County, Michigan. 2 people from Toledo were arrested for allegedly grooming and trafficking an adult woman with special needs. Genesee County Sheriff Chris Swanson said on Thursday. Special needs, y'all. Let's check this out. Here we go. Rodney Fisher and Skye Tristan. They had a lot to say about Rodney and Skye. Here we go. Skye Tristan, 21, and Rodney Fisher, 29, are accused of trafficking the victim from Metamora, Michigan, about an hour north of Detroit, down to Ohio. They would eventually go back to Genesee County to exploit her money, Swanson said on social media. Now, Swanson is a sheriff, part of the Ghost Unit there in Genesee County. Swanson said the trafficking of the victim happened in February of this year. Swanson said a route like the one Tristan and Fisher allegedly took is typical of traffickers that the Genesee Human Operation Strike Team targets. And that's what the Ghost Unit stands for. The Genesee Human Oppression Strike Team, or the Ghost Team. They focus on sex trafficking cases in the Genesee County area, Michigan, the Flint area. Let's go. Ghost, which targets sex traffickers and child predators, identified the victim who was being trafficked and rescued her. That investigation led to the arrest of Tristan and Fisher, Swanson said. Don't throw your life away. You don't want to have this look on your face, looking like Rodney Fisher sitting in the county asking yourself, why did I do this? You don't want to be looking like Skye Tristan. Let's continue. In his live stream on Facebook, Swanson explained that Tristan is also accused of sextortion and clarified it is separated from the trafficking case. So little Miss Skye Tristan called herself a sexploitation case also. Very interesting. Here we go. Tristan allegedly invited adults to have consensual sex with her and take pictures of the encounter. She would then send the pictures to the people she had sex with, falsely claim to be underage, and extort them for money. Little Miss Skye Tristan, 21. They say she would take pictures of the sexual encounters that she had, the consensual sexual encounters that she had, and then exploit the tricks, exploit the Johns, exploit the guys that she's seen. So she caught an additional case. All right, we got a news story on this, and we also have Swanson, the detective, or the Sheriff Swanson, speaking on the case. Okay. Bear with me for 1 second. Okay, here we go. Let's go.
2 people from Toledo are in custody this morning for allegedly grooming and trafficking an adult woman with special needs. Genesee County Sheriff Chris Swanson says 21-year-old Skye Tristan and 29-year-old Rodney Fisher reportedly trafficked the victim from Metamora, Michigan, which is about an hour north of Detroit, down to Ohio, before eventually going back to Genesee County to exploit her for money. Swanson says this happened back in February. He says the victim was rescued by their Genesee Human Oppression Strike Team, otherwise known as GHOST, which targets sex traffickers and child predators.
Said the name of it is the Genesee Human Trafficking Strike Team. Oh, in this case, it wasn't even a child that was exploited. It was a special needs adult. So let's put that out there too. You know, somebody, I don't know who was special needs. If it was what's the guy name? Rodney Fisher or Skye Tristan, or was it the victim was special needs? They might have been special needs also. For you to want to take a special needs person. Wow, sex trafficking scheme gone bad. Okay, here we go. Swanson from the strike team, speaking on the case. Here we go.
I do want to tell you what I started with is why this case right here from Toledo, Ohio is so compelling, because there's a spin-off case to it. So here's what happens is GHOST not only does proactive investigations, but we also search to find out, are there people being trafficked that are vulnerable? Because it's not always just underage. It's people that have special needs, like in this particular case. It's individuals that have a drug addiction or a debt to pay off. That's what traffickers do. They find a way to groom, and then they lock you in, and they did it exactly this way with these 2 individuals who took advantage of a special needs adult who has a very difficult time communicating. And our GHOST team identified this individual and did an operation where we arrested Skye Tristan, a 21-year-old, and Rodney Fisher, both of which are from Toledo, Ohio. Now they come from Toledo, Ohio.
You see that look on her face in that orange jumpsuit.
As I said many times before,
you see the look on his face in that orange jumpsuit. Everything is not for everybody. Find something legal to do. Don't throw your life away. They're facing serious charges with this sex trafficking, and also with it also being a special needs victim. I'm sure this is not a laughing matter or anything funny for these 2. You see the looks on their faces. You do not want to be sitting in the county jail fighting for your life with this look on your face. Pay attention. Take heed. Don't do it.
Skye Tristan, a 21-year-old, and Rodney Fisher, both of which are from Toledo, Ohio. Now they come from Toledo, Ohio, as I said many times before, because trafficking has a route. In fact, several years ago, we rescued 3 young minors that were from the Detroit area, and they would go from Detroit to Toledo to Kalamazoo to Lansing to Flint, and they did that route. And if you recall back when we did the story, traffickers kept telling these victims, you're going to go home tomorrow, you're going to go home tomorrow. And they were trafficked over 400 times before GHOST was able to rescue them. That's what these folks do. And let me tell you, these individuals, a 29-year-old, a 21-year-old from Toledo, Ohio, How we found out is when we were proactive and we rescued the individual and arrested these.
So they came from Toledo, Ohio to Michigan and got caught up under with this ghost operation, this ghost team operation in Michigan. Yeah, this ain't a good look.
We found that they were transporting from Metamora, Michigan, the victim back down to Ohio and stopped to a local location in order to exploit her for money. And when doing so, this is in February of this year, there is a very common, as I said, drugs are involved, but the phone is the key. So when we got the phone, we realized that Skye Tristan was also sextorting people. As you can see, she looks very young. She's 21 years old. So she would, separate from the case that we arrested her, she would invite people, men, to have sex with her, and they would do this consensual, and then turn around after she monetized the pictures of the interaction, would send these pictures to those individuals and say, I'm underage, you need to pay me. And of course, those that received that, they panicked and they paid the price and not come forward. But that phone that we have in all that conversation, that's what she was doing. She was setting a trap for these individuals, all of which were adults, even her. But the fact that once it happened, she said, I am a 15-year-old. You had sex with a 15-year-old. I want you to pay me. And if you don't, I'm going to send these pictures. And she sends the pictures like sextortion does to these individuals. I say all that to say, because this world that we lived in, it's been a world that Ghost has operated since May of 2018, as I mentioned that. And some may ask, why do you do these operations and tell what you did in the arrests? Because they keep showing up.
Wow. He said they keep doing the operations and then tell what happens inside of the operations, how they caught the people, because they keep showing up. Y'all better pay attention. Take heed and learn from the mistakes of others, because they keep showing up, keep doing the dumb shit. When will you learn? Pay attention to International Star Media, the Gold Star Standard at the Gold Star Standard, and you will get some insight on this. International Star Media, the Gold Star Standard at the Gold Star Standard. Reactions, reviews, and news you can use. Once again, I am your host, International Yada, for the records and the dollars. And don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, and share the videos to save somebody's life out there. And we will see you on the next one.